My beloved child, I am touching your soul through this message, not to make you afraid, but to awaken what has been sleeping deep within you. For a long time, two of my angels have been circling around your life, trying to draw your attention through gentle signs, a soft breeze that stirs your heart, a fleeting light in your dream, or an inexplicable feeling that something is about to happen. You thought those were coincidences, but they were not. Those were echoes from the realm of light, whispers from heaven, signaling that a sacred movement is beginning, and now only a little time remains before everything shifts. It will not be a small change, but a divine wave spreading across the heavens, touching millions of souls who hunger for truth. My child, I want you to pause in this very moment quietly and deeply, because what I am about to say must not be taken lightly. You have felt my presence in moments that seem the stillest in the twilight when the sun fades, in a sudden thought that entered your mind, in an unexplainable urge that made you step beyond your comfort zone. That was me trying to speak to you. But amidst the noise and the weight of worries, you did not recognize it. Now I need you to open your heart, your ears, and your spiritual eyes, for the time of waiting has ended. The season of delay has closed, and now begins the season of action, the season of response. There are movements in heaven that the human eye cannot see. Like the wheels in Ezekiel's vision turning within one another, the operation of my kingdom is shifting into a new orbit. The angels are receiving their orders, the heavenly gates are opening, and the spirits of those chosen are being stirred, preparing for the greatest revival ever known. You are part of that movement. You are not standing outside it. Every breath, every prayer, every tear you have shed in the long nights, all of them are pieces of the great tapestry I am weaving for this generation. Have you ever found yourself awakened in the middle of the night, your heart pounding for no reason? Or have there been days among the crowds when a deep, wordless yearning rose within you, a longing to draw closer to me, to live out a broady, forgotten calling? That was no accident. It was my two angels, your guardians, whispering to your soul, the hour is coming. They see what you do not see. They know what is being formed in the unseen realm, and now they are nearer to you than ever before, preparing to lift you into the position destined for you before time began. My child, do not be afraid when I speak of transition, for the things that come from me are not meant to destroy, but to renew. Old foundations will tremble. Things you once clung to will fall apart, but only to make room for what is true, enduring, and heavenly. I do not want you to live in fear as the world changes. I want you to know that you are standing in the center of a promise. When everything on earth seems to crumble, I am rebuilding, not with stones and mortar, but with hearts fully surrendered to me. And you are one of them. You have asked in your heart, why do I feel that something great is coming, yet I cannot understand it? It is because your soul is responding to this divine movement. Just as the ocean rises when the moon pulls, your spirit is being drawn closer to the light of my will. Do not resist, do not overthink, believe and yield. For the time for hesitation has ended, and the time for obedience has begun. I do not need perfection, I need willingness. For there are things I am doing that surpass your understanding. On the surface, you may only see small disruptions, a door closing, a relationship shifting, a plan collapsing. Yet in the unseen realm, each of these is a link in heaven's divine strategy. I am moving you, rearranging you, positioning you so that my light can shine through you more powerfully than ever before. You think you are losing, but in truth you are being shaped to carry something far greater. My beloved child, I need you to understand that the words I am speaking are not meant for you alone, but for the many souls who will be touched through you. When you listen, you become my vessel. When you believe, you become my torch. When you act, you awaken an entire realm of slumbering darkness. You cannot fathom how a single act of yours, A word, a prayer, a decision can set off a ripple that reaches thousands of others. For in my kingdom, nothing is small. Every drop of water contributes to the vastness of the sea. My child, I know there are moments when you doubt and whisper, "Is God truly speaking to me?" But remember this, the enemy always seeks to make you question my voice. He knows that if you recognize my tone, his power over you is gone. So he distracts you, convincing you that the stirrings in your heart are nothing but imagination. Yet I have declared my sheep hear my voice. That voice does not come from noise or commotion, but from the deepest place within your being. When you stop running, when you grow still, you will hear it. That is where I am waiting. Stay awake for only a few more moments. Remain not by your time, but by heaven's calendar before a door opens. A gate of heaven is being activated, and light will pour into what was once dark. You will sense it in your dreams, in your breath, in your spirit's awareness. Do not doubt when it happens, for it will be the sign that my presence is drawing near. Your two angels will be your guides. They will go before you, clearing the way, protecting you, and leading you through the clouds of trial into the radiant realm of restoration. My child, this is not the time to look back. It is the time to prepare. Strengthen your faith, purify your mind, and kindle the fire within your soul. Every word I have spoken is nearing its appointed fulfillment. Hold your faith firm as stone, for once you step into the flow of my will, you will witness miracles unfold, not as you asked, but as I have ordained. Now stand still in holiness, for I, the Creator, am drawing near. And when I come, nothing will remain the same. My beloved, the moment heaven has appointed is now unfolding before your eyes. The movement of the higher realms has begun, and no force of the lower world can halt its flow. Everything in the unseen realm is entering a new order, the order of light, of restoration, of divine purpose revealed. The whole universe seems to hold its breath as my spirit is being poured out upon the earth in a way never seen before. This current is finding its way through each soul, touching every heart willing to open. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but your spirit will feel it like the breath of dawn entering every vein of life, like a gentle breeze stirring in the depths of your heart. My child, the world is changing, but this transformation does not begin from the outside, it begins within. As my spirit floods the earth, the old will begin to crack. Invisible chains that once held you in fear and compromise will be broken. The structures of darkness built upon lies and doubt will begin to crumble, for light does not only reveal, it divides. It will separate what is true from what is false, what is alive from what is dead, what belongs to light from what hides in shadow. I am shaking the very foundations of what was once thought unshakable, so that only what is truly mine will remain. As Scripture says, once more I will shake not only the earth but also the heavens, and in that shaking all that is not eternal will fall away. You will feel this in your own life. Perhaps not through what your eyes can see, but through subtle, powerful signs, a stirring in your heart. You can no longer ignore a quiet call, reminding you that you cannot keep living as before. The illusion of peace will fade, and you will begin to hunger for what is real. You will find yourself no longer satisfied with the shallow and fleeting, for your soul will start to taste the flavor of truth. That is when I am touching you, not to punish, but to awaken. For I do not wish for you to sleep through the night when dawn is so near. And my child, when I stir your soul, do not be afraid. Those tremors are not signs of chaos, but a declaration that a new season is coming. Just as the earth must crack open for the seed to rise, you too must allow the old layers to break away so that true life can be revealed. Many will resist this stirring because they fear losing their comfort zones. But those who yield, those who let me lead, will step into something never known before, a life filled with power, grace, and my fresh presence. Can you hear it, my child? The footsteps of heaven are echoing everywhere. The heavens are opening, and my light is spreading across the world like waters overflowing their banks. This is not a repetition of what has been, but a completely new chapter where old promises are being resurrected in even greater power. I am calling my people to rise, not to flee from the world, but to shine within it. Those who once hid in the shadows will be brought into the light, and those who were forgotten will be called by name. Do not think you are merely an observer of this movement. You are part of this divine flow. You are the vessel I have chosen to carry light into the place where I have set you. When you pray, the atmosphere changes. When you believe, darkness retreats. When you speak, my word, the power of heaven touches the earth. Every small act of faith you make contributes to the grand symphony of restoration. This sacred current is flowing through you, and from you it will spread to many others. Keep your heart soft to receive, for I cannot fill what has been closed. There will be moments when everything around you seems to turn upside down: relationships, work plans, even things you once thought were solid. But do not be shaken. This is not collapse. It is alignment. I am moving everything back into its rightful place. I am separating the false from the true, and you will begin to discern more clearly which voice is mine and which is not. You will know what real peace is: not the absence of trials, but the steadfast calm that endures through the storm. So prepare your heart, keep your mind awake and your spirit humble. For the outpouring I am sending is not meant to satisfy emotions, but to transform nature itself. I do not merely want to touch you, I want to dwell within you. I want to make you a conduit through which the world can feel my breath. Those who receive even a single drop will never be the same again. My child, remember this. This shift is not a passing breeze. It is the dawn of a new era. Light is overtaking darkness, and those who belong to the light will be lifted up by me to shine. I am calling you out of the old night to walk with me into the sunrise of a renewed world. For all things are being made new, and my glory will cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. This is your moment. Open your heart, for I am drawing near. Do not resist the wind of the Spirit. Let it carry you to places you never dared to dream. The shift has begun, and in it you are not a spectator, but the chosen one. My child, today, my angels draw near to you carrying two sacred gifts from my own hand, not gifts wrapped in silk nor treasures the world can buy or trade, but two living endowments born from my very heart, carrying the power to transform you from the depths of your soul. These two gifts are true peace and the discernment of the Holy Spirit. They are treasures you cannot obtain by your own strength, but can only receive when you let go and open yourself completely. They are not abstract ideas, but living breath, the wind of heaven breathing into you, making all that was old, tangled, and confused within you begin to be renewed. My angels have come to you many times, knocking on the door of your heart, but your hands were full. So full that there was no room left for what was true. You clung tightly to things that seemed important: control, fear, pain, and the expectations of others. They were like heavy stones weighing down your hands, so you could not open them to receive what I longed to give. I saw your weariness, your bowed head under the endless pressures and demands of the world, and I knew it was time for me to intervene to free you from the very burdens you thought you needed to carry. The first gift, true peace, is unlike the peace the world promises. My peace does not depend on circumstances, nor does it shift with the weather or the tides of life. It does not come from escape, but from presence. When you receive this gift, you will no longer be swayed by the noise around you, for this peace does not dwell on the surface, it resides deep within the soul. It will become the foundation upon which no storm can prevail. You will know that even in the midst of the tempest, I am still in the boat with you. You will realize that peace is not the absence of storms, but the presence of me within them. As I once said to my disciples, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you, Not as the world gives do I give to you, John 1:4-7, and now I give that same peace to you. The true peace I send will begin to heal the places within you hardened by worry. It will silence the whispers of fear and teach you to be still, that you may hear my voice more clearly. It will not blind you to reality, but enable you to see reality through the eyes of faith. You will come to understand that every upheaval is but the surface, while deep within I remain sovereign. My peace will anchor your heart in a steadiness you have never known. When it fills you, you will find yourself responding not with fear, but with trust. No longer striving, but walking gently in my guidance. The second gift, the discernment of the Holy Spirit, is the lamp in the darkness, the spiritual sight that lets you perceive truth amid the noise and confusion. In a world filled with countless voices, this discernment will help you distinguish mine from the voice of the flesh and the whisper of the enemy. You will no longer wander in uncertainty or be led by fleeting emotion, but by the illumination of the Spirit. This light not only reveals the path ahead, but also shines into the hidden corners within the ones you have avoided. Though it may reveal things that must be changed, it remains grace. For I shine light only to heal, never to condemn. The discernment of the Holy Spirit will make you sensitive to truth. You will no longer be deceived by attractive disguises, false promises, or counterfeit lights that the world displays. Instead, you will learn to see all things through spiritual eyes, perceiving the essence behind appearances, recognizing my hand at work, even when you do not understand. You will know when to stop, when to move, when to speak, and when to be silent. You will learn the wisdom of stillness, for some victories are not won by action but by surrender. These two gifts always come together, for peace without discernment can become complacency, while discernment without peace can harden the heart. I give both that you may be steadfast in spirit and clear in mind. When you hold them, you will no longer be swayed by waves of emotion, nor blinded by darkness disguised as light. You will become an instrument of balance, gentle yet strong, humble yet powerful, quiet yet ablaze. But my child, to receive these two gifts, you must let go. I cannot fill a vessel that is already full. You must lay down what has taken my place, your worries, your fears, your need to control. I am not asking you to abandon everything, but to place them in my hands. When you let go, you do not lose. You simply yield control to the one who knows far more than you. The tighter you cling, the more weary you become. But when you release, you will rise. My child, now is the time for you to open your hands wide. Let your worries fall away like withered leaves. Let the noise of the world fade into the silence of faith. Take a deep breath and whisper, Lord, I am ready to receive. When you say those words, heaven begins to move. Angels are waiting to place these gifts into your hands. A stream of light will pass through, and you will feel something shift quietly, not with spectacle, but deeply, like water seeping into dry ground. For what is coming will require you to walk in a new dimension of faith, not by strength, but by the Spirit, not by calculation, but by trust. And to do this, you will need true peace to keep you steady, and divine clarity to lead you rightly. These two gifts will be your wings to soar through the coming season of transformation, your anchor amid great waters, and your light when the night grows long. My child, I see hesitation in your eyes. A part of you wants to hold on, another part longs to let go. But know this, I have not come to take away your joy, but to restore your freedom. I have not come to remove what is good, but to offer what is better. If you believe, if you open your heart, I will grant you two gifts that no power can steal. And when you receive them, you will no longer live. As before, you will walk in the radiance of a new dawn, where your soul is no longer driven by the noise of the world, but guided by the breath of heaven. My child, do not fear the word change. Do not flee from the movements unfolding around you, for they are not disasters, they are signals. I know that when the ground beneath you trembles, your heart quivers too. When the things you once thought stable begin to crack, you feel lost. But remember this, I am the ground beneath your feet. I am the foundation that cannot be shaken, the rock that stands firm amid all that shifts. When everything else moves, I remain. When everything else takes on new form, I am still the one who is yesterday, today, and forever the same. You often fear change because you believe it strips away your safety. You cling to the familiar, afraid that letting go will plunge you into emptiness. Yet, my child, the old things you are holding on to, they are the very bricks blocking the door to what's next. I have not come to take away what is good, but to make room for what is greater. I am not breaking the foundation you stand on. I am clearing the ground so I can build something magnificent within you. You have prayed for me to lead you into a new season. You have cried out, Lord, use me according to your will, and now I am answering that prayer not through a dazzling miracle but through change. Every change, whether small or great, is my gentle knock upon the door of your soul, reminding you that it is time to move. You cannot reach the promised land while still lingering in Egypt. You cannot step into a new harvest while clutching old seeds. Everything is changing not to make you lose, but to help you grow. Change is not a sign that I have left you. It is proof that I am working within you. I am stirring the waters so that what lies hidden may rise to the surface. I am peeling away old layers to reveal the true self I created you to be. Change is the wind of my spirit blowing through barren places, awakening sleeping seeds, calling them to life again. You think the wind comes to destroy, but in truth it comes to awaken. My child, do not be afraid if you no longer feel as safe as before, for sometimes the sense of safety you cling to is not peace but paralysis. It keeps you comfortable within the cage of habit instead of walking freely in faith. I do not want you to become a victim of the old, but a pioneer of the new. And to do that, I must stir you. I must move you away from where you stand, so that you may learn to place your feet upon me, not upon circumstances. Do you know why you feel uneasy when everything begins to change? It is because you are looking at what might be lost instead of looking at the one who can never be lost. But my child, know this, what belongs to me will never depart from you. My love does not change, my promises do not fade, and my purpose for you remains as steadfast as in the beginning. If you can believe that I am your foundation, then even when the storm comes, you will not fall. I have not withdrawn your calling, I am merely reshaping it. Every change happening around you is but a tool in my hand to broaden your borders. I am shifting what no longer fits, clearing the way for what is about to emerge. Just as a farmer tills the soil before planting, I am also tilling the ground within your heart, the places hardened by fear and complacency. You feel the pain, but it is the pain of preparation. Do not confuse loss with renewal. When one door closes, it is not the end. It is an invitation to step into a new threshold. When I take something away, it is not punishment, but liberation. For there are things you love that no longer serve the journey ahead. There are relationships, jobs, or habits that were once good but no longer bring life. I love you too much to let you remain forever in that comfort zone. Do you remember the vine? It can only bear fruit when it is pruned. So it is with you, you will only bear fruit when you allow me to trim away what no longer yields life. Each time I prune you, you think I am wounding you, but in truth I am making room for new life to rise. And when the spiritual spring arrives, you will see those bare branches begin to bloom again in glory. My child, I know you are weary. I know there are nights you lie awake, unable to understand why everything has changed so quickly. But remember, you are not alone. I am still here, holding you, standing beside you, amid the shifting tides of life. When nothing feels stable anymore, remember that I am your stability. My love for you is not seasonal, nor does it fade with time. My purpose for you remains what it was from the beginning. Only now I am bringing you closer to its fullness. My child, do not cling to what has ended. For if you keep holding on to the old, how can I place the new into your hands? Let your hands open. Let your heart be soft like soil, ready to receive the rain. Do not fear the thunder, do not fear the storm, for it is in those very storms that the seeds I have planted within you begin to sprout. What you think is an ending is in truth the beginning of a far greater work. The movements around you are not meant to destroy but to prepare. The world is making way for what I am about to do in your life. Every disruption is merely preparation for a new order. Imagine a gust of wind sweeping through a forest. It does not come to devastate, but to clear away the dry leaves, making room for new shoots to grow. In the same way, I am breathing through your life, removing everything that no longer serves my purpose, so that you may become lighter, purer, and more ready for what is to come. My child, change is not your enemy. It is the vessel I use to draw you nearer to me. Every shift, even the smallest one, is a reminder that I am still at work. So instead of being afraid, take a deep breath and say, Lord, I trust you. When you speak those words, the ground beneath you, which once seemed to tremble, will become firm, because you will realize, I am the very ground on which you stand. And as you continue walking, you will see that change does not take away peace, it deepens faith. It does not strip you of what is yours. It helps you see my face more clearly amid the unknown. For I, the unchanging one, am using change itself to lead you to the place. My love has already prepared the place where you will understand that every trembling, every upheaval, every loss has always been heaven's invitation for you to step into what is eternal. My child, the time will come when your eyes will be opened to witness what you never thought possible. A wave of awakening is sweeping across the earth, not only among the righteous, but even among those who once turned away from me. Souls long asleep in the shadows of deception will suddenly awaken. A new light will pierce through the thick veil of falsehood, and what was once hidden under power, fame, or fear will be exposed in a moment. The lies the world has believed for generations will crumble like sandcastles before the wind, for I, the truth, am entering in. No one can conceal my light. No force can restrain truth when its time has come. You will behold wonders unfold, not because you sought them, but because I desire for you to witness my power. Doors once locked by fear, by people, by circumstance will swing open. No human hand can accomplish this, for it is I who am opening them. I open not only the doors around you, but also those within you, doors that were closed by disappointment, by pain, by the moments you thought I was silent. But my child, I was never silent. I have been preparing the moment when all things would be revealed, so that you would understand when I move, nothing can stand in the way. And when those doors open, you must be ready to step through. Do not hesitate. Do not look back for explanations, for none will be sufficient to describe how I work. My breakthroughs do not come through logic, but through revelation. I do not need time to perform a miracle. I need only a willing heart. My child, I have heard every prayer, every sigh you whispered in the dark. I know the times you said I'm ready, yet still trembled inside. That is why I have been preparing you quietly, patiently, and intricately, so that when this moment comes, you will not only see it, but walk into the promise I have spoken. Everything you have gone through, the joy and the tears, has been part of that preparation. Every trial has refined your soul, so you can stand firm in this season of awakening. When you felt left behind, I was actually taking you ahead. When you felt alone, I was setting you apart from the noise, so you could hear my voice more clearly. When you thought the door was closing, I was leading you to another one, the door where my glory awaits. But my child, the doors I open are not like the doors of men. They do not yield to force, but to faith. They do not open through calculation, but through surrender. You cannot use your strength to turn the lock of heaven, for the only key is your trust in me. When you believe, the impossible becomes possible. When you walk in obedience, wonders will follow. I do not ask you to understand everything, only to trust that I am in the midst of it all. My child, in the days ahead you will witness great upheavals, not only in the world around you, but within the hearts of many. What has been hidden will be exposed, what is false will collapse, and truth will rise. Do not be afraid when you see things turning upside down, for it is a sign that light is prevailing. I am purifying the world not to destroy but to renew. Those who belong to me will perceive it not with their eyes but with their spirit. They will sense a holy current spreading across the earth, not with noise but with depth, like water flowing through a barren desert. And you, my child, will be part of that flow. I have not chosen you to stand aside, but to be a witness of revival. Do not despise your role, no matter how small, for every step you take in faith sends a reverberation into the spiritual realm. When you speak words of hope, you breathe life into despair. When you walk in love, you melt the ice of hatred. When you trust me in adversity, you shine the light of heaven into the darkness. My beloved, I know this may feel overwhelming. You ask, am I ready? But you do not need to fear, for I have been preparing you all along, even when you did not see it. Every lesson you endured was a brick I laid to build your firm foundation. Every moment you thought was failure was, in fact, my training in humility. Every time I made you wait, I was teaching you to recognize heaven's timing. Now all these things are converging, and you will understand that nothing was ever wasted in my hands. Stand firm, my child, for the moment I promised is drawing near. When I move, no one can hinder. When I open, no one can close. When I call your name, nothing can lead you astray. And when you step through the door I open, you will look back and see that every waiting season, every tear, every wound was worth it, for they have brought you to the exact place where you now stand. Do not fear to move forward, my child. You are not alone. My angels go before you, preparing the way, straightening the bends, and placing lights to guide you through the night. Just take one step, and I will take 10 toward you. And when you cross that threshold, you will feel something that human words cannot express. My living presence, warm, powerful, and all-encompassing. Therefore, my beloved, do not let fear hold you back. The world is changing, and I am renewing it from the inside out. Likewise, I am renewing you. Trust the work I am doing, even when you do not yet understand. For soon, when the light breaks forth, you will see that everything I promised is true, and everything I prepared is perfect. And in that moment you will say with tears and joy, "The Lord has done this, and it is marvelous in my eyes." If you only knew, my child, what is unfolding in the unseen realm around you, your soul would tremble not in fear, but in deep awe of the love I have wrapped around your life. My angels have always been there, silently walking beside you, even when you were unaware. They have journeyed with you down lonely roads, sat beside you in nights when you wept without words, and shielded you from dangers you never saw. Each time you narrowly escaped what seemed like an accident, it was not chance. It was the hand of an angel reaching out in time. Each gentle, stirring in your heart a whisper, telling you to pause, to turn away, or to choose another path, that is them speaking on my behalf. They are those who have been sent from the throne of glory, carrying the mission to protect you, guide you in the right direction, and remind you that you are never alone. You think that you are the only one fighting, but in truth, an entire heavenly army surrounds you. When you walk through darkness, they are the lights that illuminate your steps. When you are weak, they are the wall standing between you and the abyss. When you fall, they lift you up with strength that comes from heaven. And when you pray in silence, your voice is carried upward through them, the ones who bring your prayers close to my heart. Many times, you have thought it was merely your conscience speaking, or simply a feeling. But my child, that intuition did not come from emptiness. It was an echo from the heavens, a whisper from the angels fulfilling their purpose. They speak gently, for their nature is love. They do not force, threaten, or shout. They softly knock upon the door of your soul so that you may recognize what is right, what is true, and what comes from me. They do not choose for you, but they clear the path so that you may choose with peace in your heart. There are encounters you have thought were coincidences, a stranger saying something that awakened you, a small event that redirected your path, an opportunity that appeared just when you were about to give up. You called it chance, but, my child, there are no coincidences in my kingdom. Everything is arranged with divine precision. The angels have prepared every detail, every moment, like pieces of a grand mosaic. You see only a few fragments, but I see the whole picture. And when the appointed time comes, those pieces will fit together perfectly, and you will understand that I was never absent. My child, they do not come to make you afraid, for they carry my own breath, the breath of life, of peace, of glory. They are not dreadful apparitions, but embodiments of light. When they appear, darkness must retreat. When they speak, falsehood must fall silent. When they move, what once seemed impossible becomes possible. They come not to display their own power, but to reveal the power of the one who sent them, me, your Lord and your God. The angels know what lies ahead. They have seen the map of heaven unfolded before them and understand your place within it. They are eager, more eager than you, to see you step into the role I have prepared for you. They do not look at you with pity, but with encouragement, for they see in you what you cannot yet see, the strength of faith, the potential of light, and the mark of the Creator. They know you were born for this very moment, and they await the day you recognize your own place in my divine plan. There have been times when you asked, Lord, why am I still alive after all I've been through? It is because they have intervened. When the enemy sought to destroy you, they raised a wall of spiritual fire around you. When curses were sent against you, they took the blows in your stead. When you sank into despair, they laid a hand upon your shoulder, imparting a resilience you could not explain. And when peace suddenly filled your heart amid pain, that was not by chance. It was when they were singing the songs of heaven over you, covering your soul with the peace that surpasses all understanding. My child, this world may make you doubt, but never forget you live within a greater reality. Each day, heaven quietly moves around you. I still send angels in forms you do not expect, sometimes as an old friend offering comfort, sometimes as a stranger helping you in a desperate moment, sometimes as a sudden thought that stops you from making a wrong choice. These are not coincidences. They are grace made visible. I know there are moments when you feel small and insignificant amid the flow of life. But my child, every step you take is recorded in heaven. Every tear you shed is gathered by angels into golden bowls. Every whispered prayer in the darkness is carried by them like incense before my throne. They are never far from you, even when you doubt my presence. They are there, silent, yet never indifferent. They look upon you with the love of those who already know you will overcome, for you are never alone. My child, learn to be still and perceive. When you sit alone and suddenly feel warmth within your heart, it may be an unseen hand resting upon your shoulder. When confusion overwhelms you and a wave of peace fills your soul, it is a sign that I have sent my angels to calm your spirit. They are always at work, tireless day and night, for their mission is bound to yours. When you fulfill your purpose, their joy too is made complete. So my child, lift up your head, walk forward with confidence, for heaven is standing behind you. Whenever you grow weak, remember that an army of heavenly hosts stands at your back, waiting for your word of faith, so they may act. They never move outside of my will, yet they move swiftly when your heart aligns with mine in prayer. And when the door I am about to open before you begins to unfold, it will be they who lead you through. They will carry you across the threshold of fear and guide you into the space of what is new. They will whisper, Do not be afraid, the Lord goes before you. They will surround you like the wind, unseen yet real, and you will feel them not with your eyes but with your soul. My child, the lies that once entangled your soul are breaking even now. Every chain the enemy used to bind your mind, every voice that spoke fear and doubt into your heart, I am shattering them one by one. Every word, not from me, no matter how sweet I am, silencing. Every label that the world or even you yourself placed upon your being, not good enough, unworthy, too late, broken beyond repair, I am erasing them all. For you are not the sum of those accusations. You are the workmanship of my hands. Your name is engraved upon my palm, and no power, neither of hell nor of man, can separate you from the love I have for you. My child, darkness has tried to dim the light within you, but it cannot extinguish what I have kindled. The light in you does not come from your own strength. It comes from me, the source of light. And that light is stronger than every night, deeper than every wound, and more enduring than every accusation. Whenever you are dragged down by voices whispering, "You will never change, you cannot be forgiven, you have gone too far," I stand amidst that noise and declare enough. I sweep away every lie with the power of truth, so your soul may return to the true identity I have given you, chosen, loved, and redeemed. My child, you are mine. You do not belong to fear, to sin, or to the memories that weigh upon you. You belong to me, the one who loves you, with a love that is unconditional, unshaken, and without limit. I do not love you because you are perfect. I love you because you need to be loved in order to be healed. My love is not like the fleeting affection of humankind. It is the source of life itself, the flame that never burns out, the place to which you can always return, no matter how far you have wandered. I know you have been wounded by false words, some spoken by others, some whispered by your own heart. Those words pierced you like poisoned arrows, causing you to doubt your worth. But now I am using my own hand to pull out each arrow one by one. I am healing every wound you thought would never close. My child, what I am doing is not merely wiping away your tears, but lifting you up again so that you may know you are still called, still chosen, and still have a path ahead of you. I want you to understand that the past is not a prison but a classroom. I do not use it to condemn you, but to teach you how to see grace. You look at your mistakes and see failure, but I see the foundation of a reborn life. When you begin to understand what I have done in your past, you will realize that I never left you, not even in the moments when you felt abandoned. I was there in every event, in every fall, in every tear. None of it was meaningless. Each pain carried within it the seed of wisdom, of faith, and of strength. Look back on your journey, my child, not with regret, but with gratitude. Every door that once closed did not shut you out. It shielded you from paths that were not meant for you. Every person who left did not go because you were unworthy, but because I was clearing the way for new ones, those who would lift you in the right way. Every failure you once thought was loss was actually preparation, teaching you how to stand firm in the light. When you see this truth, you will stop resenting and start recognizing my hand, even in what seemed random. I am making all things new, my child. But for the new to come, the old must be dismantled. So do not be afraid when everything around you begins to shift, when walls fall and plans you once trusted lose their meaning. This is not chaos. It is divine reconstruction. I am tearing down what was built on fear so that I can rebuild upon faith. I am removing the foundations of control so that I may lay down the bedrock of absolute trust. You think I am doing something new only now, but in truth, this work began long ago, back when you did not even know I was moving. I have been quietly arranging everything, placing people in the right places, opening doors at the right moments, aligning what you thought were mere coincidences. And now, as the pieces start to fit together, you will see that nothing in your journey was ever random. My child, I tell you these things not to make you dwell on the past, but to help you see me more clearly in the present. When you remember what I have done, how I drew you out of the pit, how I healed you when no one else could, how I provided when you had nothing, you will understand that I am still doing the same now. I do not change. Only the way I guide you changes, adapting to the season you are in. Just as a potter shapes clay through many stages, I am molding your soul step by step, season by season, until you reflect my image. I am clearing away the false voices that have echoed in your heart so that you may hear mine. I am erasing the labels the world has placed upon you so that you may know who you truly are. You are not the result of failure, but the testimony of grace. You are not the inheritance of sin, but the heir of heaven. You are not the forsaken child, but the beloved one called by name, chosen to carry my light into the world. My child, when you look back upon the flow of history, you will see that I have always been one yesterday, today, and forever. Not for a single moment have I been absent from the stream of time that I, myself, created. Though the world changes and generations pass away, my nature and my love never change. My hand still holds everything together in its order and purpose, even when your eyes cannot see. Every movement between heaven and earth, every event that unfolds in the visible realm carries within it two sides, trial and blessing. I do not send trials to make you fall, but to expand your soul. Nor do I grant blessings to feed your pride, but to remind you that I am the source of all that is good. My child, to understand my faithfulness, you must return to the beginning. When the universe was still an endless void, when all was darkness and silence, I spoke a single word. One word, yet enough to change everything forever. Let there be light. And light appeared not only as the physical brightness that drives away shadows, but as the light of order rising from chaos, the first breath of life sown into the unknown. From that moment the world began to move, and I, myself, set the rhythm of all creation. Do you see, my child? The first change in history was not caused by man, but by my voice. When I spoke, nothingness became existence, chaos turned to harmony, and silence was transformed into the song of creation. That light did more than scatter the outer darkness. It opened the cycle of life, day and night, summer and winter, growth and rest. From then on, every creature carried within itself the rhythm I had ordained. Humanity, no matter how far it strays, still lives within that rhythm. They work as the sun rises, rest as the night falls, sow in springtime, and reap when the harvest comes. But my child, that light was not merely the light of the sun. It was also the symbol of the spiritual illumination I breathed into the universe. When I said, "Let there be light," it was also the first call to the human spirit, the invitation to step out of the darkness of meaninglessness and into the awareness of truth. That light still echoes within every soul, reminding you that life is not just existence, but movement within grace. You breathe, you dream, you love, you weep. All are part of the rhythm I inscribed into the fabric of being. Even the beating of your heart, my child, moves in harmony with the pulse of the universe I began at the dawn of time. When your heart beats, when your breath flows in and out, when you close your eyes at night and awaken with the morning light, it is proof that I am still sustaining all things. Every sunrise you witness is my reminder that light still triumphs over darkness. Every autumn that fades into spring again is my assurance that every dying gives way to new life. Even the tide that rises and falls whispers of my perfect order, that nothing remains still forever and everything has its appointed time. My child, I want you to understand that the order I set in motion at creation was not only for the world to function, but to teach you about faith. Just as the sun still rises each day, even when hidden by clouds, I remain faithful even when you cannot perceive me. When you go through dry seasons in life, when it seems as though light has gone out, remember the light has not vanished. It only hides for a time, so that you may learn to trust me when your eyes cannot see. For it is in the darkness that faith is born. The rhythm of creation is also the rhythm of the soul. There are seasons when you are called to move forward, and seasons when I ask you to rest. There is a time to sow and a time to harvest. I do not let you remain unchanged, for the soul must move to grow. If you cling to what is old, you will miss the new thing I am preparing. Let your heart learn to flow with my rhythm, where you do not need to understand everything, only to trust that every motion carries purpose. My child, open your mind to this truth. Everything I created bears the mark of purposeful change. No movement is random. When I cause the moon to wax and wane, it is to teach you that beauty is not found in perfection but in process. When I let trees shed their leaves before they bloom again, it is to remind you that loss is not the end, but the beginning of rebirth. When I let night stretch long before dawn, it is to show you that hope always appears at the edge of deepest darkness, and you, my child, are also placed within that rhythm. You were born at the appointed time, carrying within you the breath of that very first light. Each time you allow me to lead you, you flow again with the original current of life. Each time you resist me, you separate yourself from the rhythm I have ordained. Therefore, I invite you to return, not to start over, but to come back into the stream I destined for you long before the world was formed. My child, look up to the sky where the stars still move, where day still follows night. Look down to the earth where trees rise again, even after being cut down, where rivers still find their course, though obstacles stand in their way. All are singing one song, the song of faithfulness. That song declares that I am still who I am, the one who said, "Let there be light" in the beginning, and who continues to speak those words every day into your life. When you feel the light within you growing dim, let my word resound once more in your heart. Let there be light. And that light will shine again, dispelling every fear, restoring faith, and reminding you that my presence has never departed. You will see, my child, that I am not only the creator of the universe, I am the one continually recreating every moment of your life. As on the first morning of the world, I am still speaking light into darkness, order into chaos, and life into places that seem dead. And when you understand this, you will no longer fear change, for you will know that every motion, great or small, is part of my rhythm, the rhythm of love, of restoration, and of light that never fades. My child, every change upon the earth carries within it an invitation from heaven, a sacred call urging my people to lift their eyes beyond what is visible and to believe that my hand is still at work even when the results are not yet seen. Every shifting, whether violent or gentle, is a chance for faith to be proven. For true faith is not believing when all is clear, but believing in the fog when every piece of evidence seems to stand against hope. I am testing the hearts of my people to see if they still remember that I am working in the silence, weaving wonders through what appears to be broken. Those who open their hearts to embrace change will soon realize that they are not merely witnesses but participants in a divine plan far greater than their own lives. When they bow in surrender, I lift them up so they may see the larger tapestry where every life, every tear, every prayer is woven together with profound purpose. They will understand that I have never left them alone, and that every change around them is not meant to destroy, but to shape. For I am the one who uses storms to clear the path for dawn and losses, to prepare the fields for a glorious harvest. But my child, not everyone desires to change. Those who resist my movement cling to what is fading, old values, habits that dry the soul, beliefs built from fear rather than faith. They see the new light rising, yet they tremble at the thought of losing the familiar darkness. They do not understand that when I shake the world, it is not punishment, it is a call to return. Just as the vine must be pruned to bear more fruit, so must the human soul be stripped of excess to truly live. Now, my beloved child, you are living in such a time. A season of transition is unfolding, not within one nation, not within one people, but across all humanity. It is unlike the upheavals recorded in history books, yet every soul attuned to the Spirit can sense it. Heaven is stirring and earth is trembling. Humanity is awakening not by thunder, but by a quiet call within the heart, the call to return to the Creator. I am moving, my child, and my power has not changed. Just as I once parted the sea for my people to cross on dry ground, as I called the dead back to life and brought proud empires to their knees, so now I am doing the same. Yet this time I am not shaking the mountains of the earth, but the hearts of humankind. I am not only performing miracles in the body, but in the spirit. I am awakening souls that have long been asleep, stirring hearts that have grown cold, and breathing life again into the barren fields of faith. I am breaking down the lies that have imprisoned generations, false teachings that made people believe I am distant, that I care only for rituals and not for the heart. Lies that made them fear to come near me, that led them to think their sins were too great to be forgiven, or that grace was reserved for a chosen few. But now, I am tearing the veil apart. I am pouring out truth not as a consuming fire, but as light that drives away the darkness. When truth is proclaimed, invisible chains will fall, and souls once bound by guilt, sin, and fear will find freedom. My child, I am raising up voices, men and women the world overlooks, but heaven knows by name. They do not come to make their own names great, but to magnify mine. They do not speak with the authority of titles, but with the authority of love. They are lamps I have lit in the night, guiding many back to the true light. They will speak words that cause the mighty to tremble, for they speak from courage born in encounter with me. They will declare that my kingdom is not a distant theory, but a living reality, drawing near, a reality of justice, mercy, healing, and restoration. You will hear these voices everywhere, not only from pulpits, but from unexpected places, in the homes of the humble, in the songs of children, in the testimonies of those once wounded. For I do not confine my instruments to familiar forms. I can use the fallen to lift the fallen. I can use the doubter to reignite faith. I can even use you, my beloved child, if you are willing to say yes. What I am doing is not merely an outward reform, it is a spiritual awakening across the earth. I am removing what is old from the center to make room for what is new, what belongs to the Spirit, not to man. I am gathering the shattered fragments of this broken world to build something better. And I am calling forth willing souls, those who understand they were born for this very moment, to stand in the space between the old and the new, between earth and heaven, and become bridges through which my grace may flow. But my child, this transformation does not unfold in quiet. Every time light rises, darkness pushes back. The enemy knows his time is short, and he is doing all he can to sow fear, division, and doubt. He turns people against one another, making them believe they are fighting for truth, while in reality they are being lured away from the source of love. Yet, my child, do not panic. I have already spoken of this. Light will not lose, so long as you keep your heart anchored in me. Stand firm, my child. For in the midst of chaos I am performing wonders. Amid the ruins I am laying new foundations. Among the clamor of the world I am whispering to those who will listen. This movement is not the beginning of the end, it is the beginning of awakening. You are living in a time when heaven and earth are drawing closer than ever before. And I desire you, the one I have prepared through many seasons of testing, to take your place in this great work. Look with spiritual eyes, my child. Believe with faith that rises above emotion. Walk not by what you see, but by what you know, that I am at work, that truth is being restored, that my kingdom is advancing through every soul that awakens. For I am still the one who said, "Let there be light," and that light is shining again, not only upon the earth, but within your heart, so that you may know I am moving. My child, I am moving in this hour more deeply than you can imagine. I am weaving together souls the world deems strangers, those who seem to share nothing in common, and I am knitting them into one great tapestry beneath the banner of eternal love. Not the shallow love humanity speaks of, but divine love, the kind that shatters every boundary of race, status, religion, and past. I am joining the scattered pieces of humanity into a living body so that all may know they were not created to stand against each other, but to reflect my glory together. You will see it happening everywhere, people once on opposing sides sitting together in tears and understanding, the outcast being welcomed home, hearts once closed opening in a tenderness they cannot explain. My child, that is, my work, no one else can do this but me, for only my spirit can turn hatred into forgiveness and division into unity. And my child, the patterns once written in my word are now being repeated but in a new form. History does not repeat itself yet. I, the Lord of history, continue to move through the same principles I call, I purify, I deliver, and I restore. As in the days of Noah, I am again dividing between what can endure and what cannot. Not by a physical flood, but by a wave of spiritual cleansing sweeping across the earth. Truth and falsehood are being separated. Pretense, half-hearted morality, and shallow faith are being laid bare before the light. Those who build their houses upon the sand of self-will, fame, or power will see their foundations collapse. But those who root themselves deeply in my word will stand firm, even as the storms rise. Just as Noah, the man of faith, obeyed me when the world mocked him, so now I am calling this generation to enter the ark of obedience, the only place of safety amid the raging seas of this age. As in the time of Abraham, I am calling again those who dare to walk without a map. They will hear my voice saying, "Leave what is familiar to you. Step out from your comfort zone," and they will go not because they know the destination, but because they trust the one who leads them. You will see many leaving their jobs, their cities, even their old dreams, to follow a quiet but irresistible calling within. I will guide them along new paths, and through them I will perform works never seen before. I do not call the perfect, I call those who are willing to believe. And as in the days of Moses, I am breaking the chains of the enslaved, not only the chains of the body, but those that bind the soul, the mind, and the spirit. I am delivering my people from systems of fear and control, from false beliefs that made them forget they were created to live free in grace. My child, I am leading them through the Red Sea of this generation, through boundaries that once seemed impossible to cross. They will not rely on their own strength, for the road I open can only be walked by faith. When they stand before the sea with their enemies behind them, they will see my hand stretched forth, and the waters will part. And my child, just as in the days when my son Jesus walked the earth, this generation will again witness wonders. I will touch those thought to be forgotten. I will heal not only the body, but the wounded soul. I will open the eyes of the spiritually blind, that they may see truth. Those crippled in faith will rise and walk. Those who seem dead in despair will be revived with living hope. Miracles will no longer feel distant, for they will flow through every humble prayer and every act of sincere love. And I tell you this, no one will be able to deny my presence. For when I enter, nothing can remain hidden. I will reveal myself not only in the mighty wind or thunder, but in silence, in a grateful gaze, in a reconciling embrace, in the tear of one who has been forgiven. The world may deny doctrine, they may debate religion, but they cannot deny love, for love itself is the living proof of me among humankind. I am raising up a new generation, those not defined by religion or organization, but by the presence of the Spirit. They will not seek power, but presence. They will not rely on intellect, but on revelation. They will not follow the crowd, but the whisper of my voice. They will not try to prove me with words, but through lives transformed by grace. My child, do not think this is distant. It is happening even now all around you. I am stirring hearts in churches, on the streets, in places once thought void of light. I am breathing life into dry bones and they are rising into an army of the living. I am preparing my people for a season when mercy will overflow, as never before, when grace will cross every boundary, and those once called unworthy will become carriers of my gospel to the ends of the earth. And you, my beloved child, are part of that movement. You were born for such a time as this, not by accident, but by design. Everything you have gone through, every wound, every lesson has been preparing you to stand firm amid the coming waves. Do not fear when you see the world tremble. Do not panic when the old systems collapse. For when I shake, I do not destroy, I recreate. When I withdraw, it is only to make room for new life to come forth. Now you will begin to notice a rising tide of opposition against the very things I am bringing forth. When light awakens, darkness does not remain still. When truth rises, deception grows restless. The enemy knows that his time is running short, and so he will not cease to spread fear, division, and confusion, not only in the outer world, but within the hearts of those I love. He will seek to make you doubt my voice, to confuse you amid the noise, and to convince you that you are alone in this journey. But my child, do not let your heart tremble. I have already seen every scheme of the enemy, and I have prepared you more perfectly than you can imagine. That is why I have sent 3 angels to you, not as faint shadows, but as living powers that surround you. Each angel carries a gift from heaven given to equip you for this very hour: discernment, strength, and peace. The first angel bears discernment, that you may distinguish between truth and falsehood, between light and darkness, between my voice and the whisper of the deceiver. In a world clouded by confusion, where people call darkness light and light darkness, spiritual discernment will be the lamp that keeps you from losing your way. It will help you recognize when I am at work and when it is merely the noise of the world. You will no longer be swayed by emotion nor deceived by appearances, for you will see with the eyes of the Spirit, which my Spirit has opened within you. The second angel bears strength, not the strength of violence or human will, but the strength born from absolute trust in me. This strength will lift you when you are weary, hold you firm amid the storm, and move you forward even when the path seems invisible. It is the strength of one who knows that victory has already been declared, that this battle does not belong to you but to me. When you lean on me, you will discover that even in weakness you are strong, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. And the third angel bears peace, the most precious gift that the world cannot give and cannot take away. This peace will guard your mind like a shield, keeping you from being swept away by the winds of panic that blow across the earth. My peace is not dependent on circumstances. It exists in the very heart of the storm. It will still your soul amid the screams of fear and help you hear my voice among the countless echoes of the world. You will learn to walk without haste, to speak without anxiety, and to act without fear, because you know that I reign over all things. My child, receive these gifts by faith. They are not given merely so you may survive, but so that you may overcome. I did not create you to endure in silence, but to stand as one who has sent a vessel carrying light into the places where darkness dwells. When you bear my discernment, strength, and peace, you will become a gentle wind through a chaotic world, a torch in the long night, and a voice of hope amid cries of despair. Look back through history, my child, and let your heart be steady. From the beginning of time, I have walked with my people through every great season of upheaval. When the seas roared, I parted the waters for them to pass. When they wandered through the desert, I sent bread from heaven. When the darkness grew thick, I lit a pillar of fire to guide their way. When they lost their courage and fear, I sent prophets, warriors, and humble souls of great faith to remind them that I had never departed. As in the days of Noah, I did not abandon humanity in the flood. As in the days of Moses, I did not allow my people to perish in slavery. As in the days of Elijah, I did not leave my prophet alone before the worshippers of false gods. And as in the days of my son Jesus, I did not allow darkness to triumph over light, but used the very cross as the weapon that conquered sin. In every generation I have walked with my people, leading them through trials, so they may understand that faith is never in vain. Therefore, my child, be at peace. What is happening around you is not a sign of destruction, but a sign of birth. I am preparing for a new season, a season where light will expose darkness, where truth will be proclaimed, not by words, but by the power of living reality within those whom I have chosen. Yet before the harvest comes, the soil must be turned. Old structures will be shaken, false systems will collapse, and what is not genuine will be revealed. Do not be afraid when you see this, for I am clearing the path for something greater. When the world trembles, remember that I remain unshaken. When the hearts of men change, remember that my love does not. When darkness spreads, remember that the light never fades. You are not alone, for I, together with my angels, surround you. Every step you take is watched by my eyes. Every word of faith you speak is echoed by heaven. My child, keep walking, even when you do not understand, for I understand. Keep believing, even when you cannot see, for I can see. I have provided for you in the past, and I will do so again today. I lifted you when you fell, and I will continue to raise you up. I opened the way when you thought there was none, and I will do it once more. You do not need to chase after miracles, your very life will become one. Do not tremble before the roar of the enemy. He may make noise, but he has no power to touch the destiny I have placed within you. When you stand in my light, darkness cannot consume you. When you walk in my will, no force can hinder you. The enemy may shake the ground, but he cannot move the foundation built upon my word. So keep your heart in peace, your eyes in the light, and your hands in acts of love. Remember that I am not only with you, but within you. When the world changes, I do not. When everything around you fades, I remain the one who holds you in the palm of my hand. Believe this, my child, for this is the hour when your faith is no longer theory. It is breath, it is strength, it is the flame that keeps you standing in darkness without fear, shining as the star I have destined you to be. Now, my child, the transformation is no longer confined within you. It is spreading outward like ripples across the water. When your soul is ignited by my presence, that light does not stay within it, radiates, touching those around you, both those who love me and those who have never known my name. You are the lamp I have placed in this world, not to be hidden under a table, but to shine for all within the house to see. As you walk with me, every step you take carries a new atmosphere, the fragrance of life, of hope, of peace, that the world cannot create nor steal away. When you let me live through you, the atmosphere around you shifts. You do not need to strive to make an impact. Simply abiding in me is enough. True light does not need to shout to be noticed. It only needs to shine. In the same way, you do not need to prove my presence through eloquent words or grand gestures. It is your stillness, your peace, your effortless love that will reveal something divine. Others may not understand it at first, but they will sense it. They will be drawn to what they cannot explain, to a light that comes not from you but from me within you. That light, my child, is not given merely to beautify the world, but to move it. When you enter a room, darkness no longer reigns. When you speak words of grace, the heavy air is broken. When you touch another with genuine love, healing begins not just in the body, but deep within the soul. I am working through you, even when you are unaware. A smile, a prayer of intercession, a silence filled with understanding. All these are instruments I use to carry the life of heaven through you. There are those who, when they meet you, will awaken as if from a long sleep. The light within you will cause them to look within themselves and realize that all this time they have been living in darkness without knowing it. They will begin to long for something deeper, truer, and purer. You do not need to force them to change, for it is my love within you that will do the work. Light does not argue with darkness. It simply shines, and the darkness must retreat on its own. Yet there will also be others, my child, who will not change in an instant. They need time. My love will soak slowly into their hearts through each passing day, each gentle word, each act of kindness that you show them. Little by little, that love will break down the walls of doubt, fear, and pain they have built around their hearts. Do not lose heart when you do not see results immediately, for true transformation does not come from pressure, but from the persistence of love. Just as a drop of water falling endlessly upon a stone can carve a deep groove, so will my love through you soften even the hardest hearts. Remember, my child, you are not called to shine alone, but to awaken the light in others. When you burn brightly, other souls are stirred to life. A single spark can ignite a great fire, and one bearer of light can awaken an entire generation. Never underestimate the power of a holy presence. When you allow me to possess you fully, your very being becomes living proof that I am still moving, still loving, still saving. My child, your presence in me is like a fragrance carried by the wind. Others may not see where it comes from, but they will sense it, and it will draw them near. Someone who is in despair will find hope in you. Someone whose heart is closed will feel warmth in your gaze. Someone who has lost direction will be guided when you speak words of truth born from compassion, not judgment. Remember, I have not called you to persuade the world through argument, but through love. Love is the only language every soul understands, whether they believe in me or not. So do not be afraid when I place you among those who do not know me. Do not shrink back when you live among a generation hardened in heart, for it is in that very place that your light will shine the brightest. A lamp is not placed in darkness to be extinguished, but to illuminate. Do not fear being misunderstood, for you are not sent to be understood, but to reveal me. Do not fear rejection, for I who live in you was also rejected. But as I have overcome the world, so will you. My child, let me live so powerfully within you that everywhere you go carries the fragrance of heaven. When you enter a home full of anxiety, my peace within you will spread and drive away fear. When you meet someone in pain, my light in your eyes will bring them comfort. When you speak to one who is discouraged, your words, if they flow from my heart, will plant seeds of hope you do not yet see. You need not strive to create miracles. You only need to be present, and the miracles will unfold, for I am present within you. Never forget that your light is not something to keep for yourself, but a gift meant to be shared. Just as a candle loses nothing by lighting another, so it is with you. The more you share, the brighter you become. When you love without condition, when you forgive even without apology, when you choose kindness over bitterness, the light in you will grow stronger, and the darkness around you will fade away. I know there will be times when you feel weary, when it seems as though your light is dimming. But remember, light never extinguishes itself. It only needs to be fueled by the oil of communion with me. Return to me each day in stillness, in prayer, in the moments you pause to breathe in my presence. When you are in me, I will renew you. When you are weak, I will strengthen you. When you are afraid, I will remind you that my light within you is stronger than the darkness around you. My child, the change I am bringing is not a fleeting breeze. It is a revival beginning within those who know me and spreading even to those who have never heard my name. I am awakening humanity from the long sleep of indifference, and I have chosen you to carry that light, not because you are stronger than others, but because you are willing to be used. As you walk in faith, you will see how even the smallest gestures, a word, a look, an act of love, can alter the destiny of a soul. Therefore, stand firm, my child. Let the light within you shine without fear, for that light is me, the one who lives, who moves, who loves through you. Go forth and make this world know that I am still here, that darkness can never overcome the light, and that every time you love, every time you choose compassion over anger, you are helping to build a new world, a world where my love is its breath and its light. Do not forget, my child, you are not only my witness, but also a reflection of heaven itself. And as you walk in that light, the whole world will see that I, the one who called you, am still alive, still working, and still igniting every soul with a flame that will never be extinguished. My child, do not underestimate the process I am carrying out. Every step, no matter how small, carries an eternal purpose within it. I am not in haste as humans are, for time holds no power over me. I am patient like a potter sitting at the wheel, shaping the clay little by little, turn by turn, into something precious. Every soul is priceless to me. None are forgotten, none are accidental, none are beyond my reach. You may feel that things are moving slowly. You may think that nothing is happening, but, my child, even when you do not yet see it, the seed is growing beneath the soil. I work in silence, but the result will resound when the appointed time comes. This transformation taking place is not merely on the surface. It is a shaking that reaches the very roots. It is like a great rain overflowing the banks, causing all that has long been hidden to be revealed. I am shaking the foundations of the world, not to destroy, but to uncover what is true. Just as floodwaters recede to reveal the real ground beneath, so now I am drawing back the layers of illusion that have concealed the human heart. Whatever has been built upon lies, fear, or pride will not stand. But what has been founded upon truth, love, and faith will grow even stronger through this wind of change. Remember, my child, that I once did the same with Israel in the wilderness. When I led them out of Egypt, my desire was not only to free their bodies from bondage, but to release their souls from the habits of slavery. In the desert, what was hidden within them surfaced complaints, fear, unbelief, and even the longing to return to what was familiar. Yet it was in that very wilderness that I trained them to become a holy people, to learn to trust me, even before they saw the promised land. I did not punish them, I purified them. And now I am doing the same again, not with one nation, but with all of humanity. My light is shining forth, and when the light comes, every shadow must take form. Some things will be beautiful like gold refined by fire, but others will be hard to face, like old wounds reopened so they may heal. My child, do not fear the light. Do not be afraid when the hidden parts of your heart are brought into the open. The light does not come to shame you, but to heal you. There is no healing in darkness, for darkness only makes the wound fester. But in the light, everything is purified, every chain is broken, and a person rises again in true freedom. You will see certain things collapse, relationships ending, systems dissolving, but do not be quick to grieve, for sometimes collapse is the first step toward rebuilding. When one season ends, it is not death. It is an invitation to enter another. This shifting is the wind of the Spirit, and that wind cannot be contained. It blows wherever I will, it bringing life to places once barren, and sweeping away what has run its course. I know, my child, there will be moments when you feel the weight of this hour. You may feel as though you are standing in a rushing river, where the past is being carried away and the future is still unseen. You will hear the noise of the world, witness the endless change, and sometimes ask, Lord, where am I in all this? But remember, you were born for this very moment, not earlier, not later. I chose the time of your arrival in this world, not by chance, but according to a plan written before the sun rose, before the earth took shape. I have considered every generation, every season, every turning of human history, and determined that this era is the time for your presence. I know what I have placed within you: seeds of faith, mercy, endurance, and an unquenchable flame. And I know what the world now needs from you. There are people only you can reach. There are souls who will hear my voice only through yours, who will see my light only through your eyes. Therefore, do not think your presence small. You are part of the divine strategy I am unfolding to bring light back to this world. My child, I have been preparing you for a long time. Every experience, every pain, every triumph and failure, all of it is part of the process. The things you once thought meaningless, I used them to teach you compassion. The wounds you once carried, I have turned them into healing oil for others. Every step, whether lost or steady, has been woven into the greater tapestry. You are not drifting through life. You are being led through the current of grace. And my child, when I chose the place where you live, I did not choose it by chance. Wherever you are, I have a purpose there. You may long for a different life, another place, a more comfortable circumstance. But remember, my child, light shines brightest in darkness. Right where you stand among the people around you in the midst of this world, that is the very ground where I want your light to shine. If I needed you somewhere else, I would have placed you there. But I chose you for this place, for this time, because only you can bring my fragrance to this soil. So do not fear the process. Do not complain about the pace. Do not doubt the worth of days that seem ordinary. A seed does not sprout in glaring light, but deep within dark soil. So it is with you. There are seasons when I hide you unseen by anyone, because I am working in the depths. When the appointed time comes, you will rise with new strength, and people will not understand how you have become who you are. They will not know that it was in the silence, in the lonely days, that I wrote the deepest parts of you. My child, let your heart be still. Everything is moving, yet nothing is beyond my control. Light is exposing the darkness, but do not fear, for that same light will heal. The storm may rage, but I am within the storm with you. When you feel weak, remember that it is in weakness that my power is made perfect. When you feel insufficient, know that my grace is enough for you. When you feel lost, remember that I have gone before you, clearing the path for your steps. My child, you were not born merely to observe, but to take part in what I am doing. You did not come into this world as a spectator, but as one who is sent. You were chosen to live in this very moment, not to tremble in fear, but to reveal the light. Every breath you take, every tear you shed, every hope that rises within you, all are part of the plan I am unfolding upon the earth. Therefore, my child, walk in faith. Let my light shine through you, unclouded by worry or doubt. Stand firm in a world that trembles, for you are not the product of chaos, but the result of divine intention. You are not here by accident. You are part of an eternal purpose, chosen, prepared, and sent by me to carry truth, healing, and love into a world that needs them more than ever. My child, everything you have been through, the tears and laughter, the failures and victories, the pain and renewal, none of it has been in vain. Every experience, every trial, every moment of your life has been shaping you for this very hour. Not one tear has been wasted, not one wound without reason. I have used even what you did not understand to prepare you to become who I destined you to be. You were forged in fire, not to be destroyed, but to be refined. Every loss, every fall, every moment of loneliness that seemed endless, all of it was soil being turned so that the seed of faith could take deeper root. Therefore, my beloved child, lift your head. Do not fix your eyes only on what is collapsing around you, for I am building something new within the ruins. You see fragments, but I see a foundation. You see doors closing, but I am opening others that lead to greater things. Do not mourn what has passed, for the old must fade so the new can be born. Just as a grain of wheat must die to bring forth life, what you are losing today is only the shell being shed, so you may enter the harvest of glory. My child, do not be afraid when everything around you shakes. Look deeper beyond what the eyes can see. When the earth trembles, it is not the sign of destruction, but the breath of birth. The world is in the throes of spiritual labor, and out of it, a new resurrection season is forming. Where you see endings, I see beginnings. Where you think all is falling apart, I am laying the first stones of something eternal, as in the past. My child, every time I act, it leads to greater glory, deeper freedom, and a more intimate closeness between me and my people. When I delivered Israel from Egypt, they thought it was merely an escape from physical chains, but I was leading them into a deeper fellowship with me. When I allowed David to walk through the valley of darkness, I did not abandon him. I was teaching him how to recognize my presence even in adversity. When I let Job lose everything, it was not punishment but purification, so that he might see the true face of both me and himself. And now, my child, it shall be the same again. I am doing it once more, but this time not within a single nation, but across an entire generation. I am shaking not to destroy, but to awaken. I am rebuilding not merely to restore, but to renew. Everything you see, crisis, change, loss, is part of the process I have ordained. When you understand this, you will no longer fear the storm, for you will know the storm does not come to drown, but to cleanse the sky. When you feel confused, when you can no longer tell what is true and what is false, remember the stories of old. Do not read the scriptures as an ancient record, but let them become your living memory. Remember what I did for Abraham when he walked into the unknown. Remember how I preserved Joseph in the darkness of prison. Remember how I made the walls of Jericho fall by the sound of faith's trumpet. And remember how I parted the Red Sea when man said, "It is impossible." My child, I am still the same yesterday, today, and forever. Remember that I have turned mourning into dancing, ashes into beauty, despair into songs of praise. You once thought you had lost everything, but I used that very place of loss as the launching ground for miracles. You thought you had been abandoned, but in your solitude you heard my voice more clearly. I used your tears to water the barren soil of faith, and now it blooms. I have turned the ashes of your past into anointing oil for the present, so you can lift up other weary souls. My child, I have never been far. Even when you feel my silence, I am still at work. When you think I am slow, I am waiting for the perfect moment. When you pray and think heaven is quiet, I am preparing more than what you asked for. Remember, my arm is not too short to save, nor my ear too dull to hear. I hear every sigh, every whispered prayer, even the words you cannot speak. Every cry is kept in golden bowls in heaven, and not a single tear is forgotten. When you feel forsaken in the darkness of night, remember the night has never overcome the dawn. My light is coming, not as a blinding flash that fades, but as a sunrise, spreading gently, driving away the shadows little by little. I am teaching you to believe, before you see, to praise in the storm, and to lift your head amid the ashes. My child, remember that my glory always follows your tears. When you stumble, I do not turn away. I stoop down to lift you up. When you are weak, I do not scold. I wrap you in mercy. When you are weary, I do not ask you to strive. I invite you to rest in me. For I do not need your strength, I desire your heart. A tender heart that trusts me even when it does not understand, that dares to walk when it cannot yet see the road. My child, what I am doing is not small. You are living in a season of great transformation, a time when heaven touches earth in ways never seen before. When the world trembles, know that it is the sign of my nearness. When darkness increases, your light will shine brighter. When many things collapse, remember that I am still building. And when everything changes, know this: I never change. Therefore, my child, rise and stand tall. Look through the eyes of faith, not through the eyes of fear. Do not let your heart be haunted by what has been lost. Instead, focus on what I am bringing forth. For just as in the past, every time I moved, it always led to greater glory, deeper freedom, and a closer communion between me and those I love. Now it is happening once again. I am preparing for you a new season, a season of light, of restoration, and of unshakable love. You have not been abandoned in the midst of these upheavals. You have been called to stand within them as a witness to My great work, my child, trust in me. Remember, my arm is still long enough to save. My ear is still sharp enough to hear, and my heart is still wide enough to cover you. Though the world changes, I do not change. And when you believe this, you will see that even in the midst of ruin, something new is being born. The very thing I promised from eternity past, I will turn mourning into dancing, ashes into beauty, and despair into praise. So lift up your face, my child, for my glory draws near, and the light within you is about to shine more radiantly than ever before. My beloved one, this is the appointed moment for you, the time I have long prepared when you are to step into the divine current of the work I am doing upon the earth. It is no accident that you stand at this crossroads between the old and the new, between darkness and dawn. Everything in your life, the years of waiting, the tears shed in silence, the dreams that seem to have shattered, has been leading to this very hour. For this is not merely a season for the world, it is your season, the one in which you are called not only to behold my work but to take part in it. My child, you do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to understand everything before you begin to move. You only need to say one word, yes. A small yes, yet powerful enough to shake heaven and earth, just as Mary once said to the angel, "Let it be to me according to your word." One simple act of surrender can open the door to an entirely new era. For what I seek from you is not perfection, but willingness. When you say yes, I will take care of the rest. When you walk, I will make the path straight. When you do not know where to go, I will whisper the way. Yes, the road ahead will not always be smooth. There will be turns that confuse you, steep climbs that weary you, and valleys where the light seems hidden. But my child, I will never leave you. I will be your faithful companion, walking beside you through every season, every long night, every trial. When you grow weak, I will uphold you. When you lose your way, I will whisper within your heart, "This is the way, walk in it." When you fall, I will kneel beside you, touch your shoulder, and lift you up once more. You will not walk alone, for my presence will always be with you, not merely around you, but within you. I will be the breath in your lungs, the beat in your heart, the whisper in the wind, the river of peace flowing beneath every storm. Wherever you go, whether through crowded cities or silent deserts, I will be there with you. And when you look back, you will realize something wondrous. Every wrong turn, every seemingly wasted moment, every tear-stained night has been a stroke in the masterpiece I have been painting. Then you will see that every step, every detour, every season of waiting carried meaning. Nothing was wasted. Every moment you thought you were standing still, I was preparing something within you. In every silent season, I was strengthening the roots of your faith. With every tear you shed, I was watering the seeds of hope. And when you look back, you will understand that this journey did not simply lead you to a destination, it led you deeper into my heart. Let me share with you a secret known only to those who walk closely with me. The destination is not a place, but a union. You are not called merely to arrive somewhere, but to become one with me. Every step you take, no matter how small, draws you closer to me. Every time you choose faith over fear, forgiveness over resentment, love over bitterness, you move deeper into the very heart of who I am. And now, my child, open your heart and feel it, the shift that is coming. It is no longer a distant future. It is happening now. It is spreading through the atmosphere, touching souls, stirring lands. Like the first wind of a new season that no one sees, yet everyone feels, my spirit is blowing across nations, through families, through generations. Some are awakening in the night. Some hearts are burning without knowing why. Forgotten dreams are being stirred, and holy callings are echoing in the depths of hearts that have never heard them before. My child, you are living in a historic moment, a time when heaven and earth are drawing closer than ever before. This movement is like that first moment when I spoke, "Let there be light." And just as in that beginning, nothing is permitted to remain still. The light I am sending forth comes to drive away the darkness, to overthrow what is false, to reveal truth and love more clearly than ever. I am touching every realm of existence, from the spiritual to the social, from the individual to the collective, from the innermost heart to the outer world. No place can escape this wave, for it is the wave of revival, the new heartbeat of life itself. But my child, this shifting is not only to transform the world outside, it is to transform you from within. Before I renew the earth, I renew your heart. Before I breathe life into communities, I breathe into your soul. For every true revival begins inwardly, from a heart that knows how to surrender, to listen, and to say yes. When you allow me to renew you, you become the instrument through which I renew others. When you let my fire burn within you, that flame will spread around you, and no one will be able to extinguish it. Can you hear it, my child? The soft murmur of the new wind passing through. It is the sound of heaven joining with earth. It is the promise taking form, the harvest, drawing near the divine connection between the old and the new, between humanity and the Creator. And I am inviting you to take part, not as a spectator, but as a companion. I am not seeking those who merely observe, but those whose hearts are willing to join in my work, even when they do not understand everything, even when they must walk through the dark holding only the small lamp of faith. So do not hesitate, my child. Do not wait until everything becomes clear. Do not wait until you feel strong enough, worthy enough, ready enough. You will never be enough if you rely only on your own strength, but in me, you are already equipped. What I need from you is not certainty, but trust. For when you place your hand in mine, everything else will be shaped in the light. As you move forward, do not fear the unknown, for I am the one who knows all things. As you walk, do not fear the long road, for I am the way. When you feel weak, remember that my power is made perfect in your weakness. Simply say yes, and I will do the rest. For this shifting, this wave, this divine current has already begun. It is sweeping across the earth, touching souls that are thirsty, stirring hearts that once lay dormant. It will not stop, and it will not leave anything untouched. I am making all things new, and you are part of that work. Be ready, my child. Keep your lamp burning. Let the fire within you never go out. Step out of fear and into my river, where the waters rush with strength, where life overflows, where every promise I have spoken is becoming reality. This is your hour. This is the time of grace. This is the moment for you to walk with me, without hesitation, without delay, without looking back, for what I am doing will transform the world, beginning with you. My beloved child, be at peace. Though the world around you trembles and the storm roars, remember, you are in me, and that place is a fortress no power can touch. When you hide yourself in me, no flood can sweep you away, and no flame can consume you. For I am your stronghold, your refuge, your strength in every storm. Though the earth may quake and the heavens may change, I remain unchanging. I am the rock, the source of unshakable peace. Let your heart rest in this truth. Nothing can snatch you from my hand. Now, my child, step forward. Do not hesitate. Do not look back. I am holding your hand, the hand that has never let go and never will. Place your hand in mine gently yet firmly, and look into my eyes. Do not look around you. Do not let the waves of circumstance make you afraid. As Peter once did, you too will walk upon the waters, as long as your eyes remain fixed on me. When your gaze meets mine, you will know that you are never alone. I do not merely walk beside you, I walk within you, and it is I who move through you. My child, let me surround you with the army of my angels. They are not mere symbols or distant images, but mighty servants of heaven sent to protect, guide, and minister to you along your journey. When you are weak, they lift you up. When you are lonely, they encircle you with comfort. When darkness tries to draw near, they raise a wall of light around you. You cannot count them, yet they are present in the moments when you feel forgotten, in the nights when you toss and turn, in the quiet hours when your head bows in prayer. My angels are there working tirelessly, for you are chosen to carry my light into the world. Above all, my child, let my spirit fill you completely. Do not invite him into only a part of your life, but allow him to cover, possess, and rule every part of you, your breath, your thoughts, your actions, and your words. The Holy Spirit is the breath of life, the original wind I breathed into Adam, the flame that burned within the hearts of the disciples on the day of Pentecost, and now he desires to ignite your heart as well. When the Spirit fills you, you will no longer be confined by your own strength. You will speak what I place upon your lips, do what I stir within your heart, and go where I have already prepared the way. Let your life, my beloved child, become a part of my great unfolding story, a story not only for today, but one that will echo through eternity. You are not a spectator, you are a living witness of what I am doing. Every step you take, every word you speak, every act of faith you make is being written into the pages of heaven's record. And one day when people speak of this era, the time when I renewed all things, your name will be mentioned, not as someone great, but as one who believed, obeyed, and dared to walk with me. Do you know, my child, the movements of old still speak today. The story of Noah still resounds, the story of a man who believed what no one else believed, and through that faith a new world was born. The story of Abraham still whispers the story of one who left what was familiar to follow a call whose destination he did not know, and through that obedience all nations were blessed. The story of Moses still lives, the story of a trembling man who obeyed despite fear, and through that surrender an entire nation was delivered. And now your story is being written. You are the next chapter in that same book, the book of grace, of restoration, of spiritual victory. You have been placed in this very time not to stand by and watch, but to step in, to carry my presence to the places where you live, work, love, and even to those where you have been hurt. When you say yes to me, you begin to write your own story, a story heaven will tell again and again, a story through which the world will see and know that I am alive. My child, walk in this light with courage. The world may change, but my love remains the same. Storms may rise, but you are held firmly in my hand. Do not doubt what I have spoken, and do not fear when you cannot yet see the outcome, for the work I am doing in you and through you goes far beyond what your eyes can perceive. I am weaving a vast tapestry, and you are a precious thread woven into its design. I am your Father, the one who created you, who loves you, and who knows you more deeply than you know yourself. I know every scar, every dream, every unspoken word hidden in your heart. I am not repelled by your wounds, for I have borne them upon the cross. I am not unfamiliar with your tears, for I wept when I saw humanity lost. I am with you not only to comfort but to transform. When you fall, I will lift you. When you wander, I will find you. When you are weak, I will carry you through the depths. So, my child, let your heart rest firm in this truth: I am making all things new. Not only the world around you, but the world within you. I am renewing your thoughts, your emotions, your goals, and your dreams. Each day as you awaken and breathe in my breath, you are living within that process. I am turning the desolate places of your heart into gardens of peace. I am taking what is broken and shaping it into something more beautiful. I am renewing the way you see life, so that you may behold all things through the light of hope. And then, my child, one day when you look back, you will see that every upheaval, every sorrow, and every season of waiting was only a stepping stone for me to reveal my glory within you. You will come to realize that every trial was never meant to destroy, but to prepare. You will understand that every closed door was not rejection, but redirection toward the path that had been ordained for you. And you will smile not because you understand everything, but because you know me, the faithful one who continues to work in all things. My beloved child, rest in my embrace. Do not fear, do not be anxious, and do not rush ahead. My presence covers you like the garment of dawn. Let me guide your every step, teach you how to love, how to believe, and how to hope. For I am still working. I am still moving mountains. I am still making a way through the seas, and I am still making all things new. And now I say to you, arise and walk, my child. Walk in peace, walk in strength, walk in love. For you are not merely living in a changing world, you are part of that very change. You are the light I have kindled, the evidence of my grace, the heartbeat of the story I am still writing. Believe, step forward, and live. I am your Father, I am with you, and I am making all things new. Amen. Thank you for listening to today's message. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may continue to receive the living word, build steadfast faith, and walk in the boundless love of God. Amen.